Have you ever walked down an old city street at night and felt a chill run down your spine? Like unseen eyes were watching you from the shadows of forgotten buildings. Tonight, we're peeling back the pavement to uncover the urban legacies that haunt your sleep. These aren't just spooky stories. They're echoes of real events, tragedies, and mysteries that have stained the very fabric of our cities. So, dim the lights, lock your doors, and join me as we explore the ghostly tales that refuse to be forgotten. Our first stop is Edinburgh, Scotland, a city as beautiful as it is haunted. Beneath the charming Royal Mile lies a hidden, underground world, Mary King's Close. In the 17th century, this was a bustling street, full of life. But when the plague struck, the city council, in a desperate act, allegedly sealed the close, trapping the sick and dying inside. Residents were left to their fate, their cries for help fading into the stone. Today, visitors to the new underground street report hearing disembodied footsteps, the rustle of clothing, and the desperate whispers of those left behind. The most famous resident is a little girl named Annie. A Japanese psychic visiting in the 1990s sensed a sad little girl in one of the rooms who had lost her favorite doll. The psychic left a doll for her, and since then, a tradition has begun. A corner of the room is now piled high with toys and gifts left by visitors for Annie's spirit. People claim to feel a small hand tugging at their clothes, or hear a child's faint giggle in the darkness. Was the close truly walled up, or is that just a legend? The truth is debated, but the chilling experiences of countless visitors suggest something sorrowful lingers in the cold, damp air of Mary King's Close. Next, we journey across the Atlantic to the bustling streets of Chicago, home to one of America's most infamous haunted hotels, the Congress Plaza Hotel, built for the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. This grand hotel has hosted presidents and celebrities, but it also harbors some permanent spectral guests. Staff and visitors have reported a wide array of paranormal activity. There's the ghost of a young boy whose mother supposedly threw him and his brother from a window on the 12th floor before jumping herself. Their playful spirits are said to run through the halls, their laughter echoing when no one is there. Security guards often report calls coming from rooms that are completely empty. But the most notorious spirit is that of a man nicknamed Peg Leg Joni. He was a hobo who was supposedly murdered in the hotel's South Tower. Guests have reported seeing lights flicker and objects move on their own in the very room where he met his end. The Florentine Room, a grand ballroom, is another hotspot. People hear unexplained whispers and feel cold spots. And some have even seen the ghostly figure of a woman dancing alone when the room is empty. With over a century of history, it's no wonder the Congress Plaza Hotel is a place where the past never truly checked out. Now, let's travel to the sunny shores of California, to the Queen Mary, a retired ocean liner permanently docked in Long Beach. Once a luxurious vessel for the rich and famous, and later a troop ship during World War II, known as the Grey Ghost. The Queen Mary has a dark and storied past, with at least 49 recorded deaths on board. It's considered one of the most haunted places in the world. The ship's engine room is particularly active. A young crewman named John Petter was crushed to death by a watertight door during a drill in 1966. Visitors on ghost tours often report seeing a figure in blue overalls, walking near door 13, sometimes even hearing his screams. The first-class swimming pool is another paranormal hotspot. Though drained for decades, people report seeing wet footprints leading from the pool's edge, hearing the sounds of splashing water, and seeing the ghostly figures of women in vintage bathing suits. The spirit of a little girl named Jackie, who allegedly drowned in the second-class pool, is also frequently encountered. She's said to giggle, sing, and ask people to play with her. The Queen Mary isn't just a ship. It's a floating city of ghosts, each with a story to tell from the depths. Let's head to the Far East, to the bustling metropolis of Hong Kong, and a place known as the High Street Ghost House, originally built as quarters for European nursing staff before World War II. This granite building has a grim history. During the Japanese occupation, it was rumored to be used as an execution ground. After the war, it was converted into a mental asylum. Patients were reportedly mistreated, and stories of strange experiments and abuse ran rampant. The asylum finally closed in the 1970s, but the building's torment was far from over. Locals began reporting terrifying sounds coming from the abandoned structure. Screams, cries, and the sound of a woman weeping. People who dared to venture inside claimed to see shadowy figures and headless ghosts wandering the decaying halls. The building became so notorious for its paranormal activity that it was eventually exorcised by Buddhist monks. Even after being redeveloped into a community center, the stories persist. Some say the ghosts of the executed and the tormented patients still roam the grounds, forever tied to a place of immense suffering. Our next tale takes us to the historic city of Philadelphia, home to the Eastern State Penitentiary. When it opened in 1829, it was the most famous and expensive prison in the world, pioneering the system of solitary confinement. The belief was that total isolation would force prisoners to reflect on their crimes and become penitent. Instead, it drove many of them insane. The silence was absolute, and the solitude was torturous. Guards wore cloth-covered shoes to muffle their footsteps, and prisoners were hooded whenever they were moved outside their cells. This psychological torment left a deep scar on the building. Today, the crumbling cell blocks are a hotbed of paranormal activity. Visitors and investigators have reported seeing shadowy figures darting down long corridors, hearing disembodied whispers in the empty cells, and the sound of echoing footsteps when no one is there. Cell Block 12 is known for the sound of maniacal laughter, believed to be from an unseen entity. The ghost of notorious gangster Al Capone, who spent 8 months here, is also said to haunt his old cell. He reportedly told his guards he was being tormented by the ghost of James Clark, one of the men he had killed. The misery and despair of thousands of inmates seemed to be permanently etched into the stone walls of Eastern State Penitentiary. Finally, we descend into the catacombs of Paris, a sprawling underground ossuary holding the remains of over 6 million people. In the late 18th century, Parisian cemeteries were overflowing, posing a serious public health risk. The solution was to move the bones to the city's ancient limestone quarries. For decades, carts filled with bones rumbled through the streets at night, their contents emptied into the tunnels. The catacombs were eventually arranged into a macabre tourist attraction, with skulls and femurs stacked into artistic, if unsettling, patterns. The inscription above the entrance reads, "Stop! This is the Empire of the Dead, and it seems some of the dead are not at rest." Visitors have reported feeling phantom touches, hearing whispers in French when they are alone, and being followed by unseen entities. One of the most famous legends is that of Philibert Aspert, a doorkeeper who got lost in the labyrinthine tunnels in 1793. His body was unfound for 11 years. Some believe his spirit still wanders the catacombs, his lantern swinging in the darkness, forever searching for an exit that he will never find. Deep beneath the city of light, an entire city of the dead waits in eternal silence, their stories preserved in bone and shadow. From the plague pits of Edinburgh to the haunted prisons of Philadelphia, these urban legacies remind us that the past is never truly gone. It lingers in the architecture, seeps into the soil, and echoes in the dark, forgotten corners of our cities. Are these just stories we tell ourselves to explain the unexplainable? Or are they genuine encounters with those who have been left behind? The next time you're alone in the city at night, and you hear a strange noise or feel a sudden cold chill, remember these tales. You might just be walking through a place where history refuses to stay buried. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the shadows. If you have a local urban legend or a ghostly story from your own city, share it in the comments below. Love to read them. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. Stay safe, and try to sleep well.